Power doesn't knock. It takes. And it remembers who hesitated. Right now, someone is deciding whether you matter. Not tomorrow. Not after you explain yourself. Now. You won't hear it happen. You'll feel it later. When doors don't open, when prices change, when conversations end early. Machiavelli understood this long before business books existed. He didn't study monsters. He studied people. And people haven't changed. They still fear uncertainty. They still follow confidence. They still obey structure, even fake structure. These are Machiavelli's 5 laws of power. Clean enough to defend, sharp enough to cut. Law 1. Control the story or become it before anyone decides if you're smart, before they decide if you're trustworthy. They decide what you are. And once that story hardens, you don't get a second draft. Most people lose power before they ever open their mouth. Not because they're wrong, because someone else spoke first. Perception moves faster than truth. Always has. Machiavelli watched rulers lose kingdoms, not when they failed, but when they looked uncertain. In business, facts are slow. Stories are instant. If you don't frame yourself, you get framed. The room decides before the meeting starts. The market decides before the product launches. Investors decide before you finish the slide. So you curate. You don't explain everything. You don't correct every rumor. You choose what is visible. Silence becomes a weapon. When someone attacks you publicly, you don't rush to defend. You let them look emotional. You look composed. People confuse calm with truth. You don't say you're struggling. You say you're focused. You don't say you're unsure. You say you're evaluating. This isn't lying. It's survival. Because once people see weakness, they start planning around your absence. And they never tell you. Law 2. Never waste a crisis when everything breaks. Watch who stays calm. That's who wins. Crisis doesn't create monsters. It reveals opportunists. While most people scramble to survive, a few quietly expand. They don't panic. They don't rush. They count. And by the time stability returns, ownership has already changed. Machiavelli saw this in war. We see it in markets. Chaos loosens rules. Fear accelerates decisions. During crisis, people accept terms they'd reject yesterday. Jobs vanish. Budgets shrink. Trust dissolves. And in that vacuum, new power forms. You don't cause the crisis. You position for it. When competitors freeze spending, you buy attention cheaply. When teams collapse, you recruit talent quietly. When leadership stumbles, you offer structure. You speak slower. You simplify. You appear prepared. Most people react. You respond. Crisis compresses time. And those who move early own the aftermath. The public remembers recovery. They never see who rearranged the pieces while everything burned. Law 3. Be loved or feared, never ignored. People say they want respect. They're lying. They want safety. And safety comes from knowing what happens if they cross you. If people aren't slightly afraid of disappointing you, you don't have influence. You have hope. Machiavelli watched kings fall because they wanted to be liked. They delayed hard decisions. They tolerated disrespect. They explained themselves endlessly. Power hates ambiguity. In modern life, fear isn't violence. It's consequence. The fear of losing access. The fear of losing status. The fear of being excluded from the next move. You can be kind and still be dangerous. You listen, but you remember. You forgive. But once. Your standards don't fluctuate with emotion. People test boundaries instinctively. If nothing happens, they push further. Soon you're invisible, so you become predictable in values and unpredictable in enforcement. Warm tone, cold limits. When someone crosses a line, you don't explode. You reduce access. No speech, no warning, just absence. That's when fear appears. Quietly. Law 4. Appear strong, even when you are weak. The moment you look unsure, someone sharp notices. They don't attack immediately. They wait. Weakness is like blood and water. You may not see the sharks yet, but they've already changed direction. Power isn't about being strong. It's about never looking like prey. Machiavelli understood optics before optics had a name. Armies retreat not when they lose, but when morale collapses. In negotiation, appearance sets price. If you look rushed, you overpay. If you look eager, you concede. So you slow down. You pause longer than comfortable. You let silence stretch. Silence destabilizes people. They fill it with information, with justification, with weakness. You reveal nothing. Even when you're unsure, your posture stays neutral. Even when resources are thin, your language stays selective. We're reviewing options. We're aligned internally. We're not in a hurry. Strength is tempo control. The one who controls pace controls outcome. Law 5. Use people, but never discard them carelessly. Every relationship is a transaction. The question is whether you admit it. Those who pretend otherwise get blindsided first. Machiavelli didn't warn about enemies. He warned about former allies. Because people don't turn on you when you use them. They turn when you make them feel disposable. You don't exploit. You align incentives. You make people feel essential, while ensuring no one is irreplaceable. Credit flows outward. Leverage stays inward. You praise publicly. You negotiate privately. When someone's value declines, you don't humiliate them. You create distance, because humiliation breeds revenge, and revenge is patient. Today's junior employee is tomorrow's gatekeeper. Today's vendor is tomorrow's competitor. Power isn't about burning bridges, it's about leaving them intact, but unused. Quiet exits, no drama, no explanation, just absence. Power isn't evil, it's indifferent. It rewards clarity. It punishes hesitation. The real danger isn't learning these laws. It's assuming others haven't. Someone near you is listening differently now. Not admiring, measuring. They know when you speak too much. They notice when you rush. They see what you tolerate. They smile. They agree. They wait. Because Machiavelli never feared enemies. He feared the person who understands power, pretends not to use it, and knows exactly when you won't see it coming. And when you finally notice, it's already too late. The moves have been made. The decisions have been shifted. The leverage has quietly changed hands. No one clapped. No one warned you. Not even a shadow gave it away. You think you understand the game, but the board has been reset and you weren't invited to see it happen. And somewhere, in the silence, someone is waiting for your next mistake. Because in power, the quietest player is always the one you should fear the most.